Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Coast Credits here today, and I'm back with another video. Today's video is going to be on 7 interesting facts about Cedar Point that you probably did not know. So, with that being said, let's get right into the video. So, with the first interesting fact of this video is that on the screen right now, where I circled, is a little circular pond type deal on the edge of Cedar Point. Well, for anybody that doesn't know, Cedar Point actually draws the water for Thunder Canyon and I believe Snake River Falls straight from Lake Erie. So if you guys were to ever go to the park at Cedar Point and ride Thunder Canyon, you would be riding in the Lake Erie water straight out of Lake Erie. And they add their chemicals and stuff to make it safe for everybody to ride. But I just thought this was a very cool fact to add on to this video, that Cedar Point just pulls Thunder Canyon and possibly Snake River Falls' water right out of Lake Erie. For the second fact of this video, Cedar Point has a pond or part of the river that they have sectioned off, and they call it the Carp Pond. So it's basically where you can go on the midway. There'll be a thing of dog food, since carp eat almost anything, and that you could basically pay 50 cents to throw dog food into the water and watch the carp eat it. And I've never seen any other park do something like this, but they have like this barrier that divides the anywhere from below mine ride all the way to the back where the antique cars go to, and they section that area off so the carp can't go, they can't leave, but they can sit in that one area and people can actually feed the carp, and all you do is just pay 50 cents. For the third fact of this video, on the screen there's a big red line going across the screen, and I'll explain why. So, part of Cedar Point's beachfront expansion is that they filled in a lot of the area of where people can swim out in Lake Erie. And basically it's a huge shallow area that you can go out for a pretty good distance. I don't know if it's this exact distance, but it's a pretty good distance. And I haven't walked out there completely myself, but I have taken the jet skis out there, and I have almost rolled one before because I hit a big wave and fell off the jet ski, but that's besides the point. And they basically have taken all this time and all this money and put it into their beachfront so people have a nice long area to swim. And on pretty packed days at the park, the part of in front of Hotel Breakers gets actually very packed, and I feel like that families and guests that want to go out into the beachfront to enjoy the beach can go do so as much space as they have given the guests to explore the water and just kind of go out there and just wander around. So for the next fact, Cedar Fair or Cedar Point bought all the properties or has pre-existed owned these properties that are all X'd out near the causeway or by Cedar Point Road. So if you guys look in the bottom left, we're going to start, there's 3 X's. So there's an Econo Lodge North, there's a Cedar Cove, and there's the Thirsty Pony. So those properties were all bought up this year, where I highlighted it in the yellow. So those are all bought up this year. So if you go directly down to the right, the bottom of the screen, that X, that is the maintenance building for, I'm pretty sure it's the Aero Trains. The Aero Trains go there every off season to get fully, rebuilt or tear down, rebuild, maintained, etc., etc. So I think that shop is called Amusement Today or Amusement something. Amusement Maintenance maybe. If you go up 1X, that is the Quaker Steak and Lube. And if you go to the X on the right, that is the Castaway Bay Hotel and Resort. And those buildings are also interconnected. And then the other X above that to the right is the Castaway Bay Marina. And if you go up to the left, that is the Cedar Point Express Hotel. And if you see the X at the far top of the screen, that is the McDonald's they own on Cedar Point Road. Now there is one more property that Cedar Point owns on the causeway or Cedar Point Road, and that is a Dairy Queen that will be on the left hand side by the firefighters station. On to fact number 5. So the fifth fact is going to be about the water park. So the area that is outlined in red is the original water park. So that was probably, I'm pretty sure it was around when Magnum was built in like 1991, 1989, in that era. And basically, the part that is outlined in blue, where the children's play area is right in the front of the park. That was also the second half of the expansion, which happened in the late 90s, early 2000s. And the whole property was all used, but then they started renovating it in 2016. Now the area that is highlighted in light blue right by the red on the far bottom right is the expansion they gave to Cedar Point Shores, or Cedar Point, or Soak City at Cedar Point, and turned it into Cedar Point Shores, and they gave them a aqua drop complex with 2 additional slides on top of the 4 aqua drops that they have. For fact number 6, we are looking at the old Cedar dorms. So before these were turned into employee housing, it actually used to be a hotel on site. This was way back in the 1940s that these were built, and that these were originally meant to be holding hotel guests, and that people could come here and stay for a cheaper price than hotel breakers that couldn't afford it, but yet they would still get a luxurious experience that wasn't hotel breakers. And now that the hotels kind of got outdated and, just not suitable for guests, they kind of turned it into employee housing that could house 2 employees per room. And I'm pretty sure it came without an AC unit, and they would have all your furniture and stuff for that, And for our 7th and final fact, the whole stretch that comes off the end of the peninsula, it's a straight road. And as me and Mike's Coaster Adventures and his dad like to call it, it's called the Scenic Way. So instead of taking the causeway, you can take this way, but they don't recommend it because it clogs up the road and this, that, the other. And Cedar Point owns all these houses, or the property that these houses sit on. And most of these houses have boat ramps. You can go into the lagoon. You can do almost anything in this, area. And it's all protected off that beachfront. But the only downside about this strip of living here is that all the waves come crashing into the road and all the strips, and it tends to flood quite often. But there's like a rock barrier, and people have properties across the road onto the lakefront, and they can look at the lake and do this, that, the other with their property. And some of these houses go for probably thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're always building houses or tearing down old houses and building new houses. But I kind of thought this was quite interesting after I found out how much some of these houses sell for and how. So that is the end of the video. If you guys like the video, make sure to hit the like button down below. If you're not new to my channel, make sure to subscribe, and it is very much appreciated. And I will see you guys in the next one.